The last real job I had, like I said, was about 13 years ago. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I want to build my own business. I was working at the time for Microsoft selling software licensing, which was about the most boring six-figure corporate sales job I could imagine, but it paid the bills. I was good at it. But I had this entrepreneurial urge inside of me. I knew that I was made for something bigger, something more important inside, something more fulfilling, something that would look better on a tombstone someday, if you follow me. Like, what did this guy stand for? Oh, he sold a lot of Microsoft software. That didn't do it for me. I wanted to be the guy that enabled and equipped entrepreneurs. I wanted to be a successful stay-home dad who not only got to spend time with his wife and 5 kids every day, but was building an incredible business at the same time, working the hours he wanted to work, using the internet in a creative way. And I knew it was possible because we live in a time, we're blessed, guys. Let's just put some perspective here. Not only are we in the wealthiest, most prosperous, successful nation right now, where you're sitting, the United States, in the history of man, by far, inarguable. We have the free tool, the internet, that can connect you instantly with people all over the planet and build business. I've built businesses with people that I've never met or seen in person, and we've built incredible businesses together. The internet makes that possible. It's the ultimate tool of connection and relationships. When used properly, it's an incredible power tool, and it's free. And we get to be alive at its peak. So I knew there was potential there. I wasn't satisfied. I determined, and some of this is in the book. I'm not going to go through it. I'm not looking to sell books. It's $5 download, okay, guys, if you go to Amazon Kindle. My story's more in there. But I was determined to be a world's foremost success story using the internet in a creative way and inspiring others to do the same thing. And that was 13 years ago, and our audience has grown. We've got hundreds of thousands of people now who've either bought a course or a book or taken training or coaching from us at some level. Like I said, our team has grown to 70 plus people creating content, helping people use the internet in creative ways. So that's my story. My definition of success, though, remains this: having the people closest to me, the people closest in my life, respect and love me. That's my definition of success. First, the Gatekeeper strategy. Now, Kat talked a little bit about my buddy Mike Brown and his Super Bowl commercial. He used a very simple strategy to get, now, to put this in perspective, guys, this is the smallest business that has ever had a commercial during the Super Bowl. The most watched televised event in the history of man happened a few weeks ago. And the smallest company in the history of the Super Bowl had a commercial. Did any of you guys see the Viking ship in the third quarter, the Death Wish coffee? You remember that commercial? How many of you remember the commercial but don't know who Death Wish is? You remember the commercial, right? A few of you do. Okay, he didn't pay a dime for that. I'm going to tell you how he used a gatekeeper strategy that we taught him a few years ago. I'm going to read the actual email, how we met and how we got the ball rolling that allowed that to happen. It's an incredible story. I'm so proud of Mike. We're going to talk some more about Amazon, of course, which is a popular topic. A lot of you guys said you sell on Amazon, so we're going to hit on that. Going global. Now, this is my list of ways you can grow exponentially, right? Because I promised that in the title of the discussion. We're going to grow your business exponentially this year. These are the topics: the Gatekeeper strategy, using Amazon, going global, getting the best business card you could ever have. I alluded to that earlier. I'm going to tell you what that is and how to get it. Why you should focus on leadership, which is my favorite topic to study. The rules of, and this is another ancient Hebrew biblical principle, guys. The rules of business and the rules of leadership and the rules of relationships are all the same. They're all the same. Once you know one, you're good at the others. If you're a good leader, you can be great at business and relationships. If you're good at relationships, you can be great at business and leadership. They cross. They intertwine so much. The rules are all the same. So I love studying leadership. And then finally, if we have time, I may or may not get to hit on this one, but I love email marketing. And if you have anyone that's telling you email is dead as a marketing tool, please, please, please don't listen to them, because they're so wrong. I'll put it to you this way. I put $500,000 in the bank. That's not, net. That's like pure cash into my bank account. I'm sorry, it's not gross. That's like $500,000 in 1 month, thanks to email late last year. So yeah, email works, okay? It's about building relationships. It's about having people. I'll put it to you this way, and I'm not going to talk about email too long because we'll hit it at the end. But here, if I had 10 seconds to convince you about email marketing, it's this. The most powerful asset you will ever have, I don't care what your business is, the most powerful asset you will ever have is a list of people who can't wait to hear what you have to say next. And the most effective way to do that is email. And if you don't believe me, we can argue. I talked about Mike Brown, Death Wish Coffee. We've helped so many businesses with the Gatekeeper strategy because a lot of my clients, they'll come to me and they'll say, Jim, I've got this great idea or this invention. Do you think this will work? I want to sell more of this product. Help me sell it. And I'll say, and typically they'll say, hey, I've tried search engine optimization. I've tried Twitter. I've tried Facebook ads. I've tried SEO. All these different strategies, but it's not working. Help me out. And I tell them they need to try the Gatekeeper strategy. It has a 100% success rate, and it's not complicated. I'll start here in demonstrating. This is an actual printout of an email that I got from Mike Brown. And it was August of 2012. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but basically he said, hey, Jim, I bought your free marketing book, and I want to tell you what happened. I sell coffee. I've tried every kind of online marketing. I was pouring all sorts of money and time into my marketing efforts. Nothing was working. I bought your book, picked up on the Gatekeeper idea, tried it. By doing this, I set off a chain reaction that started. It got my coffee press on NPR, MTV, CNBC, big market newspapers, national radio shows. This is 2012. I had to hire some people. The business is exploding. If you ever want me to do a testimonial, I'd love to. And so I called the guy, and we had a conversation. And he joined my mastermind, my small group mastermind, and we talked strategy. But all he did, guys, the Gatekeeper isn't complicated. You don't need to pay anyone a bunch of money to learn it. Here it is. You find people who have an audience of the people you wish you had in your audience. Let that soak in for a second. So you go out and find the influencers. Because you guys all realize this at this point. Seth Godin he has his book, Tribes, right? You heard of that book, Tribes. We are all now gathered together in these groups around our passions and our interests and those things that are most interesting to us. We call those tribes. So every tribe has its gatekeeper, or the person who's kind of leading that tribe. I've got my tribe. There's 250,000 on our email list, and those are the people who are interested in the creative internet marketing ideas that we share. That's my tribe. So if you want to get their attention, you kind of got to come through me. We're divided up into these tribes, right? So Mike went to the people who had tribes of people who were passionate about coffee, the bloggers, the YouTube channels, the Twitter feeds, maybe the culinary news columnists. He spent exactly a day and a half just tracking down a list of names of who those people were. And this is the strategy. I'm giving you guys a multi-million-dollar strategy right now. He tracked down who those people were. And no, he didn't bombard them then, spamming them and begging them to check out his product. No, he just sent a kind note, in some cases a gift basket, a sample, said, hey, let me know what you think. I'd love to connect. He supported them on their blogs. He paid attention to what they wrote and left comments. Everybody likes to be supported with fans who go like, hey, that was a great article. Trust me, it doesn't matter how big your audience is, how important and special you ever think you are, you never get sick of hearing from someone saying, wow, that was just a really good article, thank you. I really appreciate it, I learned so much. People remember that. So you go to these gatekeepers, these influencers, and you support them, and you earn that relationship. So what happened next for Mike? He entered this contest. Thousands of businesses around the United States entered this contest, and it was a social media voting thing. Our community got behind Mike, as did a couple other communities, and we voted for Mike every day for Death Wish Coffee, and they ended up winning. It was Intuit was the company that was behind it. Intuit paid for a $5 million commercial. $5 million for a 30-second spot. They did all the production. They flew them all, I think it was to New Zealand. That whole crew of pirates, there's like 25 pirates on a boat. They flew them all to New Zealand, did the special effects completely free. Mike didn't pay a dime for any of it. And if I had Mike on stage right now with me, and I said, what made that happen? How did you, and he's selling, if you look, this is the greatest private label success story in the history of Amazon, I'm telling you guys right now. How many of you are into private labeling on Amazon? I'm telling you the greatest private label, small guy putting his own product out onto Amazon. It's the #1 selling product in the foods. It's Death Wish coffee. What's the category? The organic food? What's the? Organic? Yeah. I can't remember the category. But #1, if you just go type coffee on Amazon, you're going to see it's right up there at the top. He's beating Folgers and Maxwell House. Right? I mean, he's beating all the big brands. He's selling tons of coffee. And if he was up here on stage with me right now, he'd be telling you it was the Gatekeeper strategy. He connected with other influencers. It's that simple, guys. It's not some magical search engine optimization pay-per-click strategy. It's about connecting with real people, pouring into their lives, getting to know them, providing value, and then partnering together. That's the Gatekeeper strategy.